Hello everyone, welcome to HackerHeat. In this video, we will look into solving the problem insert, delete, get random. So let's look into the problem. So we need to design a data structure that supports all of the following operations in O of one time. So we need to insert a value in O of one time. We need to remove a value in O of one time. And there is also a method called GetRandom, and we need to generate the random value in O of one in constant time. The probability of choosing the number should be the same for all the given numbers. So the example here is they will do set of operations, like they will initialize the set, and they will insert a value, remove a value, and when trying to remove the value, since 2 is not present, we should be returning false in here, and while inserting 2, it should be 2 true. And if there is already 1 exists, and if they are trying to insert again, 2 already exists, so we need to return false. So basically, we need to insert a value if the value is not present and return true. If the value is present, don't insert the value and just return false. Similarly, when removing the value, if there is a value, we need to remove the value and return true. If there is no value present, we need to return false. And similarly to the GetRandom, we need to return a null if there are no numbers at all, and if we need to just return a random number. So how we do it? So there are a couple of things we need to consider here, because we need to do it in constant time. So let's assume you will take an array and insert the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever number of elements they have processed. But how do you find duplicate? Let's say they're trying to insert again 1, which is already exists. How do you find it? If you are using an array, it would take O of n time to find if a value is present or not. Then we are missing the condition where the time should be O of 1 constant time to insert or to remove. So we won't be using an array. How about using a set? You can use a set and find out if the value is present or not by using set.contains method, and you can return false. But so the caveat of using a set is when we are trying to get the random number, let's say if your set has 1, 2 and 3, 4, we can't get a number by index when you are using a set. So ideally what we need to do is, so we will use a hash map, actually 2 hash maps, where we will store the value in one map and the index in other map. So we will have like vmap and imap. Let's go ahead and initialize the required maps. So the first operation would be the new randomized set. So I will go ahead and initialize those hash maps, which will hold the value and the index. Teacher and teacher. Name it as vmap and imap. We'll initialize them here. Vmap is equal to new hash map and imap is equal to new hash map. Now we initialized the maps. What we need to do, let's perform the insert operation. All we need to do is we need to check if the value is present. If it is present, we are returning false. If it's not present, we will go ahead and add it to the map. So if value map dot contains of val, I would just return false. Else, what I would do is, if it doesn't contain, we need to add it to the map dot of val, comma, the size of the map. Basically, we are storing the index dot get size. And now, once we stored it, so this becomes the index of the value. Remember, when the map is empty, the size would be 0. When we are trying to insert 1, what the map would have like 1, 0. The value is 1 and the index is 0. Now we need to refer this index in the index map and add it to there, 0 and the value, so that when we are trying to randomize it, we know the index and we will get it from the index map instead of the value map. imap dot put of imap dot size, well, or imap, it doesn't matter. We would return true. So now the insert operation is done. We will go ahead and perform the remove operation. Remove operation is almost the same. If the value is equal to null, we would just return false. Now if vmap dot contain key of val, we need to remove it and return true, else we are returning false. So how do we remove it? So we know we need to remove the value both from the vmap and the index map. So what we will do is we will get the index first. Int index is equal to vmap dot get of value. This will give us the index. Now we will go ahead and vmap dot remove of val, which removes it from the map. imap dot remove of index, which will remove it from the index map. So here what happens is, here we have inserted two values, 1 and 2, 1 index 0, 2 index 1. The imap will also have the same things. We'll have 0, 1 and 1, 2. Now let's say we are trying to remove 1. What happens is it goes here, vmap contains the value, so it gets the index. Now index is equal to 0. We try to remove it from the vmap and we try to remove it from the index map. So we removed both the values. Now what we need to do is we need to replace this. If there is only one element left in the map, we need to replace this 0th index with that particular last element, because when we're trying to randomize and it gives us a value, and if the index is not present in the index map, it will throw an error. So what we will do is we will get the tail element, which is basically the size of the let's say int tail element is equal to get imap dot get of imap dot size, which will get us the last element. imap dot size is 1 at this point and it will get us 2. If this is not null, we will go ahead and keep it in the index map as 2 and 0, and similarly we will keep it as it will be 2 0, and we will replace this with 0 and 2. That's how we do it. Let's go ahead and do that. Int last element imap dot get of imap dot size. If there is a last element not equal to null, then we will keep this imap of index comma last element, and we will keep vmap dot put of last element comma index. So that's how we will remove it. Now coming to the random part, it's pretty straightforward. All we need to do is if the size is 0, let's say if there are no elements, size equal to 0, we would just return -1. Since we are returning an integer and not a boolean value, we will just return it. If vmap dot size equal to 1, we would just return imap dot get of 0th index, because there is only one element. Now if the size is bigger, we will initialize a random, r is equal to new random, we will generate the index, random index. Int rand index is equal to r dot next int of the size of the vmap. Now we got the random integer. All we need to do is return imap.get of rand index. That's it. So let's go ahead and run it out. Oh, there is a typo here. Okay. Contains key, not contains. Okay. Actually, I don't. It's an integer. I don't have to check for null value. Okay, sorry. When I'm trying to get it's an integer. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Boom. Now, if you look into the operations, the insertions take off one time. All we are doing is, if it contains, we are returning false, or we are adding it to the value. We are not traversing anything. Similarly, the remove, if it doesn't contains, we are just returning the false. If it contains, what we are doing is we are just removing it from both the vmap and imap, and so this whole operation will be one unit of operation, and we are not looping through the map or anything. So this will take O of 1, and similarly the random will also take just O of 1 time complexity. I hope it's clear. Please do like and subscribe to the channel Hacker Feed. I'll be doing